Hey guys, okay, so talking about our solve and share for lesson 4-5 today, starting off with where it says prizes for a school fair are packaged with two of the same types in each package. Which of the prizes listed below can be packaged with none left over? Tell us how you decide. So the easiest way to kind of go through this one is to look at our numbers themselves. So if we have 6 cars here, that would be even. If we have 15 cars here, that's kind of odd. 23, again, odd. 18, even. And 36 is also even. If we're trying to put them into packs of 2 of the same kind, right, it's going to have to be in groups of 2. So you're going to be able to have to put a group here and a group there. If we did 6 divided by 2, right, we'd have 3 in each. If we did 15 divided by 2, uh-oh. That doesn't seem like that's going to work as well, right? That one's not going to work as well because if we take 15, try to divide that by 2, okay, well, you can't do that because you're going to get 7 plus 7 is 14 with a remainder 1, right? So you're going to have an extra 1. You can't do that. Not good. If we then do the same thing for instead, again, 2 in each group, looking at 18 put into 2 different groups, right? We get 9 with none left over. Okay, so this one would work. If we did 6 divided into 2 equal groups, we already did that with our circles earlier, we know that that's going to be 3, so yes, that's going to be workable. We know that 15 is not because you'd have an extra. If we had 23 divided by 2, would be 11 plus 1 more, so we can't do that one because that one is odd. And 36 divided by 2, right, ends up being our 18. Because if you have 36 divided by 2, it's 18, and it's an even 2 in each group, okay? What we're focusing in on today is talking about even and odd numbers and how if something is divisible by 2 or able to be divided by 2, it's an even number. If it's not able to be divided by 2, then it's an odd number, okay? So let's go ahead and go on with our visual learning for today. So our visual learning should be starting here in just a few seconds. Let me move my bubble for a second. There we go, I'll get out of the way. Here we go. Well, if we look at all of our even and odd numbers, our even here are blue, our odds are white. If we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, whew. If it's an even number, it ends in a 2, a 4, a 6, an 8, or a 10. So 0 at the end. If it's an odd number, it'll end with a 1, a 3, a 5, a 7, or a 9. Okay? So she's asking that the product, again, product being the answer to a multiplication problem, of an even number, like 2, and an odd number, like 3, will always be even. So let's see if she's right. Well, if we look at each row, right, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ends in 1, ends in 2, ends in 3, ends in 4, ends in 5, ends in 6, ends in 7, ends in 8, ends in 9, ends in what would be a 10, because it's a 0 at the end. And then it starts over with 1 end, 2 in the end, 3 in the end, 4 in the end, 5 in the end, 6 in the blah, 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 blah. So on and so on. It continues for the rest of our chart and so on for the rest of our numbers. So thinking about the digits from each number, right? It's either an even or an odd, even, odd, even, odd. It goes back and forth. There you go. All of the numbers are odd. All right, so let's try it for ourselves now. So let's explore her statement. So select a box in the multiplication table to see the product. If we have 2 times 3, right? Oops, sorry. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay. So 6 times 3, again, is another even number. What if we looked at 8 times 9? Because it ends with a 2 here, it's an even number. Same thing with, we had 2 times 5 is 10. Ends in that 0, it's an even number. Okay? Again, using our distributive and associative properties from our last topic section. 4 times 3 is, again, 4 becoming 2 times 2, and 3 carrying straight over. We could have also said 2 times 2 times 3, or would it be 3 times 3 times 2? Well, you can only have one 3 because you're multiplying by 3 across the board, right? So you can only have one 3, and we know we're going to have 2 2s. So if we're looking at this one, has 2 3s, so it's got to be the one on the left. Again, looking at our distributive property, starting off with that 4 becoming 2 times 2, okay, and then times 3. Or an alternative is, again, that 4 splitting into the 2 times 2, but instead having 2 times 3 be 6. So 2 times 6 is our answer of 12. Okay, again, so drawing back into that, anything that is even times even will be even, odd times odd is odd, even times odd will still be even, because it still has an even tucked in there somewhere, okay? Odds stand by themselves, evens turn other things even. All right, friends, let's go ahead and go on to our convince me. So it says, does multiplying by 8 also always result in an even product? Well, if 8 is divisible by 2, right, we can break 8 into 4 plus 4, or in a multiplication sentence, that would be 4 times 2. Oh, we have a times 2 here. That means that it's always going to be an even number. If you multiply by an even number, it doesn't matter if it's 8 times 2, if it's 80 times 2, if it's 500 times 2, it's still going to end up with an even number because you can split it into those two equal groups. So if 8, being an even number, can be split into two equal groups, will their product always be even? Yes. Yes, it will, because it can always be broken down into two equal groups. Okay? In your student practice today, I'm going to have you go ahead and go through some of our questions. This is just a review of what we did before. This is our visual learning. If you go to page, let's see, 135 in your notebook pages, that would be looking like this, has the little lady with her glasses on top. It's another example, so an odd number cannot be divided by 2 with nothing left over. For example, a 3 times 5, 3 can't be divided equally, 5 can't be divided equally, so 3 times 5 is 15, and 15 has to be an odd number because it ends in 5. But with our did you know and independent practice, all they're asking you here for is, can 4 be divided by 2? Yes or no. Can 6 be divided by 2? Yes or no. And then is 4 times 6, because these numbers are both even, does that leave it as even or odd? And then it's asking for your total number, okay? Same thing down here. Asking, is 9 times 5 even or odd? And then the actual answer, okay? Make sure to go ahead and go through at least 3 through 5 on here, just to have a little bit of practice with it. You are also going to be doing a quick check for me, so 4-5 quick check. If you get additional practice assigned to you, please go ahead and do it. I know that sometimes it's a PDF, so a printable version. I want to see you guys doing those a little bit more often so you can get some more practice when you're away from me, okay? If you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.